Do you want to start your own podcast, but you don't know how to actually do it? Let me take you behind the scenes of my podcast, which is called Girl with the Camera. And I'll take you on the pre-production, planning the episode, recording, using the microphones, editing, and distribution. And of course, once you find this video helpful, do subscribe, listen to my podcast, Girl with the Camera, and check out the thanks button under this video. So the first thing you have to do is you have to plan the episode. So what the episode is going to be about and give it a little bit of structure. So as you can see on the screen is basically what I'm going to do and record today. So this episode, I think it's going to be number 80. So this episode is going to be about Dear Evan Hansen musical and also film. So a little bit of review and comparing West End show with the actual film. I don't like to write word by word. So like if I, have 10-minute episode or 20-minute episode, it's a lot of writing. And I mean, you can turn it into a blog as well afterwards, but you want to keep it natural. You want to keep the flow natural. So like I have some notes and then I'm just going to go with the flow. So this is basically, I always write the welcome. So it kind of gives me a good start. And of course, like, welcome to another episode of my Girl with the Camera podcast. You can improvise right there. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the musical, but also film, Dear Evan Hansen, which is related and deals with the mental health. So some of the reviews to kind of build the tension of like, if you've never heard of it or if you've heard of it, but you don't know what to expect. And then a little bit of story, like I went to London West End to see it in a theater. Blah, blah, blah. It's leaving on October 22. Some information, book the tickets. I want to help them out, but they don't need the help. Like it's literally sold out every time. And I will give you some spoilers in this episode, because I want to go over the storyline and then some info. And of course, like don't mind the actual, for example, Sam Tati. It's actually, spelled T-U. Double T and Y, but it's easier for me to know how to pronounce that correctly. So some of the technical info and where you can see it. And then I'm going to go into the film, right? So, I'm going to lean into the film and talk about how horrible it is and comparing to the West End show, which is completely incredible and awesome. And then, a little bit of information. So literally this is it for me. And then I'm literally just going with the flow. And how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use this microphone that I'm talking to right now. And I'm going to record in Adobe Audition. So let me open Adobe Audition. You can also record in Premiere Pro, there's absolutely no problem with that. Let me open Adobe Audition. This is Rode video mic, so Rode NTG video mic, and I'll show you a little bit better. So, I can set up the gain as I go. I can have some low cut frequencies. This is good for the outside setup. So for the studio, I don't have to really do anything. And it goes via, so you have the jack, so I can plug this into my camera right now, but also it has the output for USB-C, so I can plug it in directly to my laptop, and let's show. And then I can record directly into Premiere Pro or Audition. So basically, the idea is to, have the best audio possible. And this is like a shotgun microphone that you put on top of the camera. So it's not perfect for podcast setup, but I think it sounds pretty good. And I really like it. I think it's a good quality and I like it. So whatever. Okay, I'm going to plug this into my laptop so you will see, but I'm going to set up my Audition. So I'm going to do the multi-track because I'm going to layer it with some music. So I'm not going to do waveform where you only have one audio track. So I'm going to go to multi-track and then I'll do podcasting behind the scenes. And yes, I'm going to click OK. And now you can see I have different tracks. And in this default input, once I input the microphone, it's going to come up and I can set it up in audio hardware. And I can say like, okay, I'm going to choose Rode NTG mic for my input. And then I'm just going to prepare this for recording, click on the R, and then I'm going to click to actually record. And I'm ready to go. So I'm going to film this. So now you can see I am recording directly into Audition, and I did connect it to the video, like synchronized in the end. So I can, you know, set up the volume level either with my gain control on the mic, which is the best one, or I can then increase the gain in Audition, which is, you know, equally simple. So that's fine. What I could also do is to plug my headphones directly into this mic. So I also have jack, so I can actually hear my voice as I talk in this episode and check the audio at the same time, which I would recommend of doing all the time. So I'm just gonna unplug it from my camera. It's because when you turn the microphone a little bit like away from your mouth, you might stop. You know, you don't realize that the voice is not coming clear because you do like this. So it's not going to be, you know, recorded well. But when you actually can hear it, that's a different story. Whoa. Okay, so this is a little bit loud for me, but it's great for the input. Oh my God. No. Okay, I cannot. Okay, this is much better. But as you can see for the input, yeah. Okay, now I can hear myself breathe and everything. Some people are freaked out by this. I don't understand why. It's very comforting, as well as you can get the same experience as your viewers, or actually in this case, listeners. So I would always recommend to like know what you're recording. So always listen. Okay, shall we start? Let's start. So I'm going to put this on my second monitor so I can just still check the recording and I can go and record the episode. Okay, so... So I've recorded the episode. It's pretty much... We can actually see the time. 30:56, okay. So, but the introduction was the actual video that I was making for YouTube. So basically, what I'm gonna do... So I went to West End. Welcome to another episode of my podcast with the camera. Okay, this is the introduction. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go closer. So I'm zooming in with equal sign. So I can make a cut right here. So what I can do is literally, I can use razor tool, but Command K or Control K on Windows cuts right through when your playhead is. So this is much easier than switching the tools, even though like they have shortcuts, so it's not a big deal, but I'm kind of used to do it in Premiere, so I use it here as well. So basically this first is the actual video and the podcast starting here. What I can also do is I'm gonna hit M to create a marker. I can have the tab, go into window, enable markers and see where they are and what they say. I can also rename it from the markers bar, or I can right click on it in the timeline and rename it. So I'm gonna do like the introduction part. And okay, so I know that this is it. I'm gonna add some music in the track number 2 later. So welcome to another episode of my So what I can do if I want to fade in, so basically I'm gonna hit this transition effect. This is like the transition icon. I'm gonna click and drag this to kind of create like a fade in. Delete any kind of like breaths and everything. Okay, I'm happy with this. And I'm just gonna go episode of my podcast Girl with the Camera. In this episode I'm going to talk about the musical but also film Dear Evan Hansen. One of the most remarkable shows. And this is pretty flawless. I'm just gonna go to mixer and I'm going to increase the volume. So the podcasts, the standard podcast is to go into -3, so between -6 and 0. The right side, the decibels showing you the actual output, and the left side is only showing you how much you increased it by. So this is just a reference, but the actual volume is on the right side of each fader. So the first thing I'm gonna do is basically apply effect for the whole track, which is called hard limiter. Why? Because sometimes I laughed too much and I made like, I went all the way. So it's always good to make sure that I never go above a certain level to avoid distortion in audio and in the voice. So this is why I limit my audio. So I'm going to close them. I'm going to go back to the editor and I can increase this volume. So the yellow line is volume, the white line is pan. So if I literally just drag this yellow line up and I'm going to increase the volume to reach -3, which is awesome. If I press L twice, I'm going to go a bit faster to go over it. I'm looking for kind of like pauses to see whether is there something I need to cut out, which makes a lot. Which unfortunately is leaving West End on October 2022, the 22nd. And stuff like this I live in just because like it's natural. It's like it's not a big deal to make a mistake like this when you correct yourself. So I'm not a big fan, unless this is like a news piece, I'm not a big fan of like editing any kind of imperfection. I like to keep it in like the raw thing, the natural way of conversation or monologue in this case. What I'm going to cut out like is any kind of like cough, or if I want to repeat something, or if I just say like, whatever. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about what you can expect from this show, why it's awesome, why I think it's awesome. And basically, okay, so here I forgot what I wanted to say. So I'm going to make a cut here and I can skip the whole part because there's nothing. I'll make the second cut here. I can, just to show you, I can just cut it with the razor tool and then delete this bit. If I leave some space, I can then transition a little bit like that. I think it's awesome. Even much more. So I went to West End to see it in the theater. I can kind of cut out this part to speed up the actual flow of the podcast. You could rent it and you can still rent it there. Trade for it. So I'm gonna basically read through the waveforms and look for like the longer pause. And it's addressed to you, dear Evan Hansen. And Evan was like, oh. Okay, this is the storyline. Okay, there we go. It was a lie, but like basically, I'll make a cut and see. Oops. But like basically, you can also cut this part right here. If you know the song, comment below. It's like paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like can't stop what I'm feeling within. It's like a space inside of like felt better beneath my skin. Okay, I don't like when I say this like I mean nobody likes it when they say it. And okay, so film, I'm going to be short because I don't want to end up with like negative feeling, but the film, okay, I haven't watched the film. The trailer was enough for me to be like, no. Ben Platt, no, come on, in a leading role. I could cut out all the like but you know, like, is it worth it? Like, it would take me like so much time to cut this out of the recording, and like, you know, I'm pretty busy like with other stuff that I have to do. So for me, it's like, you know, you have to choose your battles. Okay, this would be kind of like the end. What I can do is I can then in my track number 2 put my music. I was using different music, but I kind of find this cool. Maybe it's not gonna fit at all. Let's see, I need to take this down. So this is track 2. I'm gonna take this down. Dear Evan Hansen, one of the most remarkable shows in musical theater history, says the Washington Post. Terrific, gripping, heartfelt, says Vogue. The reviews are coming and they are countless. That doesn't fit at all. I need something like emotional. 2022, which makes a lot of people sad, including myself. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about what you can expect from this show, why it's awesome, why I think it's awesome. I love it. So I went to West End to see it in the theater. Okay, so I'm gonna fade it out. So I'm just literally gonna create keyframes on the volume track or volume line right here, and I'm gonna kind of slowly fade it out. So I was like, okay, I have to see it. I've been wanted to see it. You know, I want to use the same song to close. So you need like a full circle. So what I have to do is I can hold Option key to make a copy. On Windows, it's Alt key. I'm going to drag that to the end, but I'm going to delete the keyframes. And I want it to go up towards like at the very end and here. So I'm just gonna do it like this basically, or actually no, because this is mixed on, so I have to go up. Sings the way he acts, he makes it look so easy, and I can also like, go honestly like, and this is the beauty of acting. If it's really hard work, rehearsal, you know, then you make it look easy. Oh my god, but actually honestly, so I love it. Let me know what you think about this music. Okay, go watch it. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe for the updates on my new episodes, and the end has to be Viva la West End. I will be very sad on the 22nd of October when this show is gonna have the last performance. I better book the tickets now, because this is, I'm gonna cry even more than before. Okay, go watch it, and I will not see you or hear you, but you will hear me next time. So overall, you know, like I recorded it, so I know there are not like any kind of parts that I have to like go really into and make sure I cut this out. So this was pretty easy. However, if you have any kind of like interview and you recorded it a long time and now you don't remember, like if there are any parts that you have to delete or what to do about it, then of course it's going to become a little bit more difficult. So you either take notes right after the recording or you edit it right after, right? So you like in the actual idea, like what you need to do in the editing. And, you know, as you can see, the music, the background music is super important to create a vibe for the video. So to create a vibe for the actual podcast episode. So I'm pretty happy with it. Let's export. So you can export in many, many ways. I'm just going to highlight what I want to export. You can put like sound effects in there in like track number 3. So I'm going to highlight. Is this highlighted? Yep. I'm going to highlight everything I want to export. I'm going to go to File, Export, Multi-track Mix Down, Entire Session, or Selected Clips. So I'm going to do Selected Clips. And I'm going to name this Dear Evan Hansen episode. I think it's number 80. MP3. So basically, MP3 file is what my hosting service supports, which is Anchor FM. I'll show you how to upload a video there. You can upload video as well, but this will be audio in this case. Okay, desktop. Let's save it to my different folder. No, YouTube. Even though it's not YouTube, I know. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. This is gonna export and I'm going to check it. I like it. Okay, how long it is exactly? 28 minutes, perfect. Brilliant. So let's go to Anchor FM. I have a full tutorial on how to create an account on Anchor FM. Literally the tutorial is like step by step, how to register, how to create a cover, how to upload the cover, podcast, set up a podcast distribution, everything. It's super easy tutorial and you're gonna learn everything about it. So we can go to, this is my episode 79. So yes, this one will be named call number 80. So I'm going to click on new episode. I'm going to upload. I have already created it, so I can upload. And then I'm going to go find my file, upload, and now this is going to be the name. So what's going to be the title? Dear Nicole then. No. Evan Hansen, West End musical review versus film version. I think it's kind of dry. Yeah, I don't like it. Dear Evan Hansen, West End musical might be the most. Why is Dear Evan Hansen musical the most important show, the most important musical in West End? I mean, it's a big statement. So I can do, why is Dear Evan Hansen the most important musical in West End? Could be. Something catchy, you know. Description. Okay, I can copy something from my preparation. I went to, okay, what about this? I went to London, West End to see Dear Evan Hansen musical in the theater. I mean, of course, I went into the theater. The release is their last summer here in London. The musical will leave in October with its final performance. Book your ticket. Okay, this is too salesy. Okay. I will give you some spoilers in this episode because I want to be specific on the storyline, but I won't tell you how it ends. However, it's so well made that even if I told you all the spoilers, it would be worth watching. Not the film though. Yeah, I like it. Okay, publish. Yes, let's do now. Pulse. Did you like it? Did you watch it? Did you see it? Did you go? Do you want to see the? Did you see the musical? Did you go to see the musical? Multiple choice. Yes. Not yet. Okay. Season. I always put season 1, even though it feels like it's explicit. I think I forgot to do it in the last episode. Because I do swear. Okay, and then I'm always gonna put the number of the episode. This is the 80th episode. Yeah. Publish now. Are you ready? Check your phones. Tune in to the next latest episode of Girl with the Camera podcast on Spotify or Apple or whatever you want. Tune in now, share, listen, and if you have any questions about this video, comment below. Check out the thanks button if you enjoyed this. Check out my other videos. I have full playlist on podcasting. So if you need any help or if you want more information, let's go. And also you can book me online or face-to-face for the training or consultation on your podcast or any kind of advice. And that's it. I'll see you next time. Go see Dear Evan Hansen in theaters.